I came to the Miller School after the start of my junior year after spending my freshman and sophomore years at Western Albemarle High School, which is just up the street. But I'm not up here today to speak about my transferring from one school to another before it starts. I'm up here to talk to you about something that most people aren't informed about as much as they should be. I'm up here to talk about depression. The Google definition of depression is feelings of severe despondency and dejection. That definition is technically correct, but it doesn't merely clarify the significance of what depression is. If I were to create my own definition of depression, I think I would have to say it's the feelings of severe hopelessness, sadness, low spirits, and most importantly, the feeling of being completely alone. The sense of loneliness is the hardest one to come back from. Did you know that major depressive disorder affects approximately 17.3 million American adults, or about 7.1% of the U.S. population that are ages 18 through 64. 1.9 million children ages 3 to 17, and 7 million adults after age 65 or older are affected by depression. That is 1 in every 11 adults, 1 in every 25 kids, and 1 in every 7 ages 65 plus suffer from depression. My grandfather, John Philip Murray, was 1 in that 7 million. I never knew he suffered from depression. Around my family, he held himself so composed and happy to the point we almost never thought anything was off. My knowledge of his depression occurred after one night that has compelled me to understand how depression affects a person and their family. That night was January 26, 2018. It was a Friday night. I had just lost a basketball game to Western Albemarle High School's crosstown rival, Albemarle High School. Already not in the greatest of mood, I locked myself in my room, not wanting to leave, but that changed very quickly. I remembered my mother's voice, broken and soft, call out my name. I went through the house looking for her. When I found her comforting my grandma's face was ridden with shock, and a waterfall of tears flowed through my mother's eyes. She said it was Granddaddy. I obviously asked what happened, and after hearing, I dropped to my knees. I found myself in a state of sorrow, shock, and denial. My granddaddy Phil had taken his own life. My neighbor, shooting buddy, and one of my closest family members just gone. After his passing, I slipped into my own state of depression. I quieted myself. I distanced myself from my family and my friends. I was so scared and sad that I didn't step foot into his house until months after his passing. I sometimes couldn't even see my grandma because she would remind me too much of him. I could only think of all the holidays we could no longer spend together. Going out golfing, fishing, letting off fireworks in the front yard on 4th of July, playing horse in the driveway, and no longer would I be able to see him after my games or share my achievements with him. I never let those feelings leave my mind. I too put on a face like my granddaddy did. I tried to act as composed and happy as possible, yet I felt alone and constantly sad on the inside. I never thought I was going to be able to get out of my own head and get out of my own state of depression. But one person gave me a nudge in the right direction. She was always pushing me to talk out loud people for her that works. That person was my mother. Mom sometimes can annoy the hell out of me when you do that, but I know it's from the heart, and in this case, it worked, so thank you. I reach out to the people who I know would listen, and in their best heart would help me out as much as they could. I had people in my life that were there for me in my time of need, and pulled me out of a period of time I wish never to go back to. I believe there's a misunderstanding for people who suffer from depression. Most think that they have no one that will be there for them, and the sense of being alone is what affects them the most. I just want to say that for anyone here that could be secretly suffering, that there is someone out there that could be by your side, whether you know who that person is or not, or are too scared to reach out. You need to find them. I very much encourage you to do so. I've never been able to completely rid myself of my depression. For me, it is something that lingers on very faintly. Sometimes I can feel it start to come back, and when I'm alone and my mind is stressed. I have found ways to silence those thoughts, silence that state of mind that I never want to go back to. When I feel it start to come back, I think about the things that are going on in my life, the people that I share everything and anything with, And sometimes I would go up and spend time with my grandma. I don't know how I went from not being able to set foot into her house to then willingly going to see her whenever I felt the reoccurrence of those feelings. But now I see is one of the best things I can do. I would like to thank my mom and my dad for always being there with their support and love. I would like to thank my brother for sometimes being a complete goofball and yet the greatest person to talk to during this time in their life. I would also like to thank my friends, my teammates, and my coaches. Most importantly, I would like to thank my grandma for being the most wonderful person. You have helped me through this struggle in our life in so many ways that I can't explain, and I just want to tell you I love you so much. I would like to end this speech with a quote by Fred Rogers. If you could only sense how important you are to the lives of those you meet, how important you can be to the people you may never even dream of, there's something of yourself that you leave at every meeting with another